experiment with what a plant needs to grow. This is informational text, and informational text is nonfiction. It gives us facts about a topic. As we're reading this story, I'd like you to pay attention to the many text features. There are going to be photos with labels, order of events, cause and effect, and the ways that pictures and words help you understand the text. I'd also like us to set a purpose for reading. I want you to think about the author's words as you read, and then I want you to evaluate or decide which of the details are most important to help you understand the text. Let's look at the power words. Repeat them with me. We have minerals, fuels, process, provides, sprout, moisten, seedlings, and spiky. So let's get ready to read our story. Let's meet our author first. It's always interesting to meet our authors.
Do you like books about science? If you do, then Nadia Higgins is writing for readers like you. Nadia Higgins has written over 60 books for kids. Her favorite part of writing is learning new and exciting information. She likes to include fun and unusual facts in her books. Miss Higgins has written about cute but deadly animals and foods that came about by accident.
Oh, this makes me really curious to find out what kind of unusual facts we may find out about plants in this text. Here's the cover of our book, Experiment with What a Plant Needs to Grow by Nadia Higgins. And here are a bunch of different plants on the cover. Do you recognize any of those plants?
What are plants? Plants are living things. They grow, they reproduce. Like you, plants need air and water. They need minerals to stay healthy. They also need food. For a plant, food starts with sunlight. Sunlight fuels photosynthesis. This is a process in which green leaves make food using air and water. With enough sunlight and water, flowering plants will bloom. Plants give us food, wood, and medicine. Photosynthesis provides the oxygen we need to breathe.
Now, the title of our text is called Experiment with What a Plant Needs to Grow. Gives information about the topic, doesn't it? The author is going to give information about what a plant needs to grow. So as I read, boys and girls, I'm going to look for important details that give information about this topic. On this page, I read that plants are living things that need air and water. This is an important detail because it gives information about what plants need to grow. As I continue to read, I'll think about the author's words and decide if they give information about what a plant needs to grow.
Can seeds get too much water? Water helps a plant stay strong and sturdy. But even before a plant shoots out of the ground, its seeds need water to sprout. Can seeds get too much water? Let's find out. What you need: 3 small bowls, water, 6 cotton balls, handful of grass seeds, pencil and paper. Plants die if they don't get enough water.
So what happens to a plant if it doesn't get enough water? Right here it says plants die if they don't get enough water. Why is this detail important to know? Because it helps us understand that a plant needs water to live and grow. Now, boys and girls, let's keep reading to find out more about this important information. I'm very intrigued. Oh, you know what else I'm noticing? On those 2 pages in the headings, they asked us questions. The headings were, what are plants? Can seeds get too much water? So they were asking us questions and then gives us steps, or at least answering the questions. It's very interesting. So now we're going to
Steps.
find out.
1. Start by putting 2 cotton balls in each of the bowls. 2. Next, fill the first bowl so the cotton balls are covered with water. Moisten the second bowl's cotton balls all the way through. Don't add any water to the third bowl. 3. Sprinkle about a dozen seeds on top of the cotton balls in each bowl. Label the bowls so you remember which is which. Four. Put the cotton balls in a sunny place. 5. Check the bowls every day. Make sure the first 2 cotton balls stay covered in water. Make sure the second 2 stay moist. After a few days, some seeds will sprout. Keep checking your seedlings for a week. Which sprouts are the tallest and sturdiest?
Now, what does the caption explain? Look at these captions. What does that explain? Yes, it'll help us remember how much water is in each one. Do you think this information is important for understanding more about how plants grow? No, it's not really that important. The detail makes the experiment easier to do. It does not help me understand how doing the experiment will help me learn about plants and how they grow. I think it just helps us do the experiment, but it doesn't really help us understand how plants grow. Okay?
Think it through. A seed has a coat that protects it. Water softens the coat so the seed can sprout. But seeds also need air. Too much water can keep a seed from getting enough air. Horse chestnuts have spiky seed coats to protect their seeds. Now try this. Plants need minerals to be healthy. Most plants get minerals from the soil. Predict how long your grass can survive without soil. Watch the grass sprouts to see if you were right. Be sure to write down your prediction before you start experimenting.
Now, which section on this page gives details that answer the question, can seeds get too much water? Okay, where does it say that? It says here, too much water can keep a seed from getting enough air. So can they get too much water? Yes, seeds can get too much water. Seeds need water and air to grow. If a seed gets too much water, it can keep from getting enough air. Now, does the author give important details? And now try this. Do we get important details? No. What question does the author want you to answer? How long can grass survive without soil? How does the author want you to answer the question? They want you to do what? They want you to do an experiment, but we don't know the experiment yet. So let's find out what experiment we need to do. So we're going to find out our experiment.
How do leaves get air? We just saw that seeds need air to sprout. Roots need air too. Air is also part of photosynthesis. As they make food, green leaves take air in and let it out. Let's find out how. What you need: petroleum jelly, masking tape, leafy green plant, camera. You can easily poke your finger into good garden soil. The loose soil holds lots of tiny spaces. Those air-filled spaces keep roots healthy.
Now, boys and girls, in the main text, the author explains more about air and why it is an important part of photosynthesis. These details help me understand the purpose of the experiment to show how leaves help plants grow by taking air in and letting it out. The caption also has some interesting information about how air-filled spaces in soil keep roots healthy. But this experiment is about leaves and air, not roots and soil. So I don't think these are important details I need to remember. So not everything is an important detail.
Steps. 1. Spread a heavy coat of petroleum jelly over the tops of 5 leaves of your plant. 2. Do the same on the undersides of 5 other leaves. 3. Put your plant in a sunny window, then take its picture. 4. Observe your plant every day for the next week. Mark the tops of the coated leaves with tape so you can easily find them again.
So why would the directions say to take a picture of the plant? Why do you think that? When the experiment is over, you can compare the way the plant looks at the end to see how it looked at the beginning and see how much it has changed. Yes, you want to see how much it has changed. What do you predict will happen? Oh, do you think the leaves with the petroleum jelly are going to die? So you could see all the petroleum jelly right there. Those will probably die. I'm kind of with you on that. So let's see.
Compare what you see to the photo you took on the first day. How are the leaves different from your photo? Think it through. Petroleum jelly kept some of the leaves from letting air in and out. Those leaves started to wilt. The leaves that were coated on the bottom wilted the most.
Now, what is the cause of the leaves starting to wilt? Yes, the petroleum jelly kept some of the leaves from letting air in and out. What is the effect of putting petroleum jelly on the bottom of the leaves? Those leaves did what? They wilted the most. Why do you think the author organizes the text around causes and effects? The author wants readers to think about what might happen and find out on their own using an experiment.
Measure like a scientist. Measuring helps scientists show exactly what is happening. Let's look at some ways you might use measuring in a plant experiment. Measurement, test, tool, unit, metric. Measurement, weight, test. Weigh 2 seeds. Is one heavier? Tool, scale. Unit metric, ounces, grams. Measurement, length, test. Measure a bean seedling in the morning. Then measure it the next day. Did it grow taller? Tool, ruler. Unit metric, inches, centimeters. Measurement, time, test. Track how many days it takes for a plant to bloom. Tool, calendar. Unit metric, days. Measurement, volume, test. Measure how much water you are adding to a pot. Tool, measuring cup. Unit metric, cup, milliliters.
So why is the information in the chart helpful? Well, it shows how you can use measuring in a plant experiment. And maybe choose one of the experiments you read. Tell how you might use the chart to help you do the experiment. So you could probably use maybe a ruler to measure the length of the grass seedlings that sprout. That would be one thing you can do. So maybe you might want to try one of the experiments that are in the book. Maybe you have some grass seed at home. Or maybe you have a plant and you could use the petroleum jelly on it. And then you could let us know what happened to your plant. That would be fun and interesting to measure and do experiments like a scientist.